we are going to discuss Roy's adaptation model. So Roy's adaptation model, it was developed by Sister Callista Roy. So in this model here, Sister Callista Roy, she is explaining that nursing is helping a person to adapt to the changes which is happening in his functions, in his concept, in his self-concept, in his role function. Some changes will be there in a person's life, and nursing is to help the person to adapt to those changes which is happening in the life of a person. So it can be either the changes in the physiological needs of a person, it can be changes in the self concepts, functional roles, and it can be some changes in the interdependent relationship. And this change can happen during the health, and it can also happen during the illness. So the main concept in this Roy's adaptation model, the word adaptation. So the person is adapting to the changes, and nursing is to help the person to adapt to the changes. So in general, Roy's adaptation model means adapting, a person will be adapting to the changes. So let us we see regarding the meta-paradigm. So meta-paradigm, everybody, you are now well versed with the meta-paradigm, four headings. That is, one is person, next is environment, next is health, and the last one is the nursing. Who is according to Sister Callista? So the person, he or she is viewed as an adaptive system. They are adapted to their health and to their environment also. The environment can be changing, and to this changes when the person is adapting. So who is person? The person, he or she is an adaptive system, and that adaptive system, so who changes is there, a person can be adapted to the changes in their health and to the changes in their environment. And person here means an individual, a family, group, a community, or the whole society can be viewed as a person. Understood? So what is a human being or person according to Roy adaptation model? A person, he or she is an adaptive system. They will be adapting to their health and to their environment. So person, he or she, an individual, it is referred to an individual, maybe can be a family, it could be a group, community, or even the whole society. So this is the definition of person according to Sister Callista Roy. Next, environment. So what is environment according to this adaptation? So all the conditions, circumstances that is influencing the behavior of a person. Clear? So what is environment? Any condition, any circumstances, any influences which is affecting directly or indirectly a person's development or the behavior. We can call it as environment. So the change, it is acting as a stimulating factor, and because of that stimulating factor, what are the causes? That is the adaptive responses. So this is environment. So what is environment according to Roy's adaptation model? Any condition, any circumstances, any influences which are affecting a person's development and behavior, we can call it as environment. Next is health. What is health? It is a process where one individual is striving very hard to attain the maximum level of wellness. Okay. So what is health? A complete process where an individual, a male or a female, he or she is striving hard to achieve their maximum wellness in the life. That is health. And what is nursing? Any action which is done by a nurse in order to improve the interaction between the person and environment, so that he or she can able to adapt the changes which is happening in the individual. Clear? So what is nursing? Nursing means any changes or any action which is done by any person, a nurse, who is making a person in order to adapt the changes which is happening in the environment of a particular individual. Understood? That action, that process, you will call it as nursing. Clear? Let me again tell you what is the meta-paradigm according to Tolstoy. Human being or she is adapted or viewed as an adaptive system who is adapted to their health and to the environment. So it could be an individual, family, group, community, or society. What is environment? All the conditions, circumstances, and influences which is affecting a person's behavior or development. Next is health. Any process in an individual's life making them to achieve the maximum level of health. And the last is the nursing, an action did by any person who is promoting an individual in order to adapt the change model. It is speaking about stimuli, then coping mechanism, and some active modes. So these are the three concepts, and these concepts are having even sub concepts also. So these are the three main concepts where Callista Roy is speaking about. So stimuli, focal stimuli, contextual stimuli, and the residual stimuli. What is focal stimuli? Immediately, what is coming, what changes or needs is coming in front of a individual. So immediately what changes is coming in an individual's life, that is known as focal stimuli. And any other stimuli which is influencing the main stimuli, you will call it as contextual stimuli. Understood? So focal stimuli means immediate stimuli which is there, the immediate needs or changes which is happening in an individual's life. And any stimuli which is influencing the previous one, that is which is influencing the focal stimuli, you will call it as contextual stimuli. And the third one is that it is including an individual's belief or attitudes which may influence whenever he is changing anything that is affecting him, you will call it as residual stimuli. And in that, whenever the family system is supporting you, whenever you are getting support from the other people, peer persons, some changes is happening, and that changes you can call it as residual stimuli. So types of stimuli is focal stimuli, contextual stimuli, and the residual stimuli. So an example is there. So if you're seeing smoking, suddenly a person started smoking, which was a, in that the focal stimuli was, he was nicotine addiction. The person was nicotine addiction whenever he is smoking. And the contextual stimuli is that he is just thinking that whenever I am smoking, it is enjoyable for me and I can able to relax. And it is nowadays, it is a part of routine life. So when he is thinking that, that is the contextual stimuli. Clear? So his main stimuli was, his main change was nicotine addiction. And the contextual stimuli, it is influenced, it was influenced. How it was influencing the focal stimuli? Because see, he is the smoke, he is thinking that is enable, it will get, whenever he do the smoking, he will get relaxation, and he also thinks that it is a part of the routine life. Understood? Residual stimuli, so what is there? So again, whenever he is having that family influence or the other influences there, everybody is telling him that don't smoke, you try to stop smoking. So that time what he is doing, he is thinking that okay, whenever I am stopping my smoking habit, what will happen about the body image, weight gain will be there. Maybe if I could, if I am stopping my that smoking habit, my body image will be changing, I will be gaining the weight. So that is the residual stimuli. So this is regarding the stimuli. So the first concept was stimuli. Stimuli, three types of stimuli was there: focal stimuli, contextual stimuli, and the residual stimuli. Next, coming to the second one, coping mechanism. If you're seeing, two types of coping mechanism is there according to Sister Callista Roy. One is a regulator and the other one is a cognator. So what is a regulator? The primarily used mechanism in order to cope up with the physiological stimuli. When any physiological stimuli is there, whenever the mechanism a person is using to cope with that, the first mechanism the person is using to adapt to with stimuli, you will call it as regulator coping mechanism. Understood? What is regulator coping mechanism? When an individual uses any type of coping mechanism, first, primarily, in order to adapt with the physiological stimuli he is facing, you will call it as regulator coping mechanism. Next is cognator. It is mainly a mechanism to cope with the psychological stimuli. Understood? So whenever the person is having changes in the emotions, whenever the person is having some mood changes, judgment, cognition, anything. So psychologically, if the patient want to, if the person want to cope up with the changes, or whenever he want to adapt to the changes, he is using the cognator. So simple, if you are seeing, regulator means the mechanism, coping mechanism he used to adapt to the physiological stimuli. Cognator mechanism, coping mechanism means it is a mechanism, coping mechanism he used in order to adapt with the psychological stimuli. This is the difference. Regulator, it is coping mechanism for a physiological stimuli, and cognator, it is a coping mechanism for the psychological stimuli. So the third concept now, stimuli over, coping mechanism over, and the last is the adaptive mode. So four types of adaptive modes are there: physiological mode, self-concept mode, role function mode, and the interdependent mode. So whenever he needs any psychological, so whenever whenever the person want to adapt to the changing situation, for example, the person is not able to breathe, he requires oxygen, isn't it? So that is the physiological adaptive mode. Whenever the person is not taking proper nutrition, the nurse is helping him to take the nutrition, he is taking good diet. So that change is known as physiological adaptive modes. Understood? Next one, self-concept. Whenever he is adapting to the psychological or spiritual elements in his life, we will call it as self-concept adaptive mode. Then when a person is changing his role, either the primary role or the secondary role or the tertiary role, so that he can able to perform well in a society, whenever he is changing his role, that is the next adaptive mode, role function mode, changing his role in a society, in a family, among the group. Understood? And the last one is the interdependent role, whenever the person is depending on others, so that he can able to adapt to the changes which is happening in an individual. Understood? That is interdependent role. So four types of adaptive mode is there. Physiologically the person will be adapting. Then next one, psychologically when he is adapting to the changes, we'll call it as self-concept adaptive mode. Whenever he is changing his roles so that he can able to adapt to the situations, you will call it as role function adaptive mode. Whenever the person is depending on others so that he could be able to clearly adapt to the changes which is happening to his happening to the environment or in his life, you will call it as interdependent adaptive mode. Understood? So Sister Callista Roy, three major concepts was there. Number one, it was the stimuli. Three types of stimuli is there: focal stimuli, contextual stimuli, and the residual stimuli. And the second concept was the coping mechanism. Two coping mechanisms, that is regulator and the cognator. When we want to adapt to the physiological stimuli, we will use the regulator coping mechanism. When we want to adapt to the psychological stimuli, we will use our cognitor coping mechanism. And how the coping mechanism is used by the four adaptive modes, that is physiological mode, self-concept mode, role function mode, and the interdependent mode. So if you're seeing this, so this is the conceptual framework. So whenever an individual is having some stimuli in his life, he will be using his coping mechanisms, that is regulatory coping mechanism and cognitive coping mechanism, and the effectors which is affecting the mechanisms, that is psychological functions, self-concept, role function, and interdependence. Whenever he is using this adaptive mode, so that adaptive mode and the coping mechanism, so that he can able to adapt to the stimuli. Now, the result be either the person will be adapting to the situation or the person will not be adapting to the situations. If he is not adapting to the situation, stress will be coming for him, and that is a negative feedback. Understood? So this is the conceptual framework according to Sister Calista Roy. So if you are seeing input is the stimuli, the changes in the life. It is controlled by our two mechanisms, that is regulator and the cognitor, with the help of the physiological, self-concept, role function, interdependent adaptive modes. And the final result will be either the person will be adapting to the needs or the person cannot able to cope up with the changes in his life. Understood? So this is the result. Hope you have understood this. Thank you.